Her face is very scary.
My mother told me that she is a cursed child.
Father, everyone laughs at my face. Will these marks ever go away?
Stop crying, my child. Those marks are not shame. One day the world will understand why they are there, and it will be a blessing.
Why would it be my daughter that will carry these horrible marks? I would have accepted you as my child if I had known this is what your face would look like.
But it's not my fault.
I don't care. I don't like that face.
People said Egomma was the most beautiful girl in the land. But they also said something else. They said her face carried the marks of a curse. 5 deep lines sat on each cheek and on her forehead. Dark, long, impossible to ignore. When strangers saw her from afar, they would whisper, "Who is that beautiful girl?" But when they came closer and saw the marks, their voices would change. Ah, what a pity. Yet, those who looked beyond the marks saw something rare. Egomma had a gentle heart. She laughed easily. She shared her food. She helped the weak. But none of that stopped the mockery. Young girls whispered behind her back. Even her own mother sometimes looked at her with pain. But Egomma's father never saw the marks first. He always saw his daughter. And whenever Egomma cried, he would say, "My daughter, those marks are not shame. One day, the world will understand why they are there." But Egomma did not yet know the truth. She did not know that her life had begun with a fight between humans and spirits. Many years before Egomma was born, her father Okenna had a problem in his heart. Okenna had 4 sons already. Strong boys, handsome boys. In Okenna's lineage, men were known for one special thing. They always had sons. Okenna loved his sons, but he always said one thing: "One day, I will carry a daughter on my shoulders. She will be my daddy's girl." His wife, Ako, heard this every day. At first, she laughed about it. But as the years passed, the words began to weigh on her heart. When she became pregnant again, everyone said, "This time it will be a girl." Ako believed it. She carried the pregnancy proudly. She spoke to the baby every night. "My daughter, you will make your father happy." But the day of birth came, and the baby that arrived was another boy. The compound became quiet. Ako cried bitterly, not because she hated the child, but because she knew her husband's heart was broken. Months later, Ako did something desperate. She went alone to the river. The river was known to carry ancient powers. Standing before the water, Ako cried, "Give me a daughter." The river
Please
was silent
give me
for
a
a long
daughter. I
time.
don't want
Then the
another
spirit
son.
of the
It is
river
not in
spoke
your
through the wind.
husband's lineage to have
"It
a
is
son.
not in your husband's lineage
It
to
is
have
not
a
yet
daughter.
time for your
You will
husband's
continue
lineage
to
to have
give
a
birth to
daughter.
sons."
I cannot give
Ako
you a
fell
daughter
on
now.
her knees. She begged, she cried, but the river refused. Ako went home that day with a heavy heart, but her desire for a daughter did not die. The next week, she returned to the river. This time, she brought huge sacrifices: yams, palm wine, white clothes, and precious things she could barely afford. When the river goddess appeared, she said calmly, "If you must have a daughter, it will not be easy. You will fight for that child. If you win, you will have a daughter. If you lose, you will give birth to another son." Ako did not hesitate. "I will fight." The goddess accepted the sacrifice. "You will conceive soon, but during the pregnancy, you will fight many battles in your dreams. Do not give up." A few days later, Ako conceived. But from that moment, her suffering began. She became sick again and again. Food lost its taste. Her body became thin. Her eyes grew tired. People began to whisper that she might die before the baby came. But every night, she fought terrible battles in her dreams. Spirits chased her. Dark figures tried to snatch the child from her womb. Yet, Ako kept fighting, month after month. The day of birth finally came. The sky suddenly turned dark, turned a rod across the land. As the baby was about to come out, a powerful storm struck the house.
What was
The
that?
door burst
Lightning
open.
hit the door.
Wind
Why here?
rushed
What does it
inside
mean?
like angry spirits.
know.
People shouted in fear. It felt as if unseen forces had come to claim the child. But then,
Now
the
I have
baby
a child
arrived,
to call a
a
daughter.
baby girl, the most beautiful child anyone had ever seen. The whole compound exploded with joy. Okenna danced like a child. My daughter has come. People celebrated into the night, but the real battle had not yet ended. That same night, Okenna had a dream. In the dream, a dark spirit entered the room. It tried to snatch the baby from her arms. Aku fought with everything she had. She screamed. She struggled. She refused to release her daughter. Finally, the spirit became angry. If we cannot take her, it said, we will mark her. The spirit scratched deep lines across the baby's face. Then it disappeared. Aku woke up suddenly. Her heart was racing. She looked at her baby and her blood froze. The same marks from the dream were already on the child's face.
5 deep lines on each cheek.
Aku screamed and called Okenna. When he saw the marks, he was shocked. But there was nothing they could do. The marks had already become part of Egomma's face. Despite the marks, Egomma grew into a wonderful child. She carried a strange grace. People felt peace around her. Her laughter was warm, her kindness was natural, and her beauty grew stronger as she grew older. But the marks, they never disappeared. People mocked her. Her brothers were the worst. They called her ugly face. They treated her like a servant. They sent her on errands. They made her work until she was tired. Whenever she complained, they would say, "Look at your face. You are not like us. You look like someone marked for slavery." Egomma would cry all night. The only person who always protected her was her father. When he was around, Egomma was treated like a princess. But when he traveled for business, her brothers became cruel again. Her grandmother watched everything quietly. One day, the old woman said, "This girl is not ordinary. You people are blind." But no one listened. One afternoon, Egomma became tired of the pain. She packed nothing. She simply ran away. She ran through farms and bushes. She ran until she reached a quiet river deep inside the forest. There, she sat down and cried. After some time, a beautiful woman appeared. The woman brought food. "Eat, my daughter." Egomma was afraid at first, but hunger won. She ate and soon fell asleep. When she woke up, night had already fallen. Fear entered her heart. "I cannot go home," she said. The woman held her gently. "Come with me." They walked straight into the river, but the water did not drown them. That was when Egomma realized the truth. The woman was the river goddess, the same goddess her mother had once begged for a daughter. Egomma told the goddess everything: her brothers, the mockery, her lonely life, the marks on her face. Then the goddess asked, "Do you want to stay here with me or go back to your people?" Egomma answered softly, "I want to go back, if they will accept me." The goddess shook her head slowly. "Humans rarely change because of pity. They change when they need you." Then the goddess revealed something important. "Your village carries a curse. The young men will never grow rich beyond a certain level. They will always struggle, no matter how hard they work." Egomma thought about it. She realized it was true. Then she asked, "How can this curse be broken?" The river goddess explained, "Long ago, your ancestors offended the spirit of the river. The curse can only be broken if someone from the land, accepted by the gods, offers 7 years of service to the river. The person must come to the river every full moon. They must bring pure water from the village and pour it back into the river. It is a sign of humility. If the person completes the 7 years, the curse will break." Egomma did not hesitate. "I will do it." She returned to the village quietly. Every full moon, she went to the river, year after year. The villagers saw her perform the sacrifice. 7 long years. Finally, the curse broke. The young men suddenly began to prosper. Farms flourished. Businesses grew. Money flowed into the village. Soon, everyone discovered the truth. Egomma had broken the curse. The village became rich because of her. But even after knowing the truth, many people still mocked her. They looked at her face and laughed. One day, Okenna stood in the village square and said angrily, "My daughter sacrificed for all of you. Why do you not honor her?" Some villagers replied carelessly, "Did we beg her to do it?" Those words pierced Egomma's heart like a knife. That night, she cried bitterly. "I gave everything to these people, and they still refused to accept me." Then, she made a decision. She would stop chasing their acceptance and validation. Egomma went to her father. "Father, give me some farmland. I want to farm and keep myself busy." Okenna agreed immediately, but the villagers laughed again. "Look at her. Not only is she ugly, now she wants to farm like a man." Egomma ignored them. She focused on her farm. She worked with patience, and something amazing happened. Her crops grew better than anyone's. Her vegetables were bigger. Her yams were healthier. Her harvest became the richest in the land. People gathered to watch when her workers harvested the crops. They had never seen such abundance. Egomma sold her harvest and became very wealthy. The same people who mocked her began to whisper in surprise. During that time, a wealthy trader from another land arrived. He saw Egomma, not the marks, but the woman. He admired her strength, her kindness, and her success. He asked for her hand in marriage. Egomma felt truly valued. She accepted. The villagers would gather and gossip. What did that handsome man even see in Egomma? He left all the beautiful maidens in the land and went for that ugly girl. Egomma's father was overjoyed. At last, his daughter had found someone who truly saw her. But something else happened. The river goddess watched everything. She saw how the village had treated Egomma, the same Egomma who had sacrificed 7 whole years for them. Because of their ungrateful hearts, the goddess allowed the curse to return. Slowly, the village lost its prosperity again. Businesses failed. Farms struggled. Wealth disappeared. The villagers panicked. They ran to Egomma and begged for forgiveness. But she said calmly, "I have done my part. I am now married. If the goddess chooses to forgive you, she will." Some daughters of the land volunteered to perform the sacrifice again, but the river goddess refused every one of them. The time of mercy had passed. Egomma left the village with her husband. She lived in peace. Her husband loved her. Her father visited her often with pride. But in the village she left behind, regret lived in many hearts. Her mother regretted the cold love she showed her daughter. Her brothers, they regretted the cruelty they gave their sister. And the villagers never forgot the girl they mocked. And so, the elders still say, never laugh at the one carrying marks. Sometimes, the person you reject is the one holding your blessings. And never chase validation. Always know what you want and go for it.